Now another great moment is coming. Around 150 members of this participants, they have sent their abstract and full papers, and we have submitted around 140, and it is a great time to inaugurate the opening of that seminar. I request our distinguished guests to please have any. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm and inspiring words. To introduce the distinguished guest present on the dais, I now invite Mr. Sushant Kumar Rana. They will introduce.
Good morning, one and all present here, respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, research scholars, my dear future teachers, and all the teaching staffs of this college. Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce our chief guest for today's National Seminar, Dr. Narayan Behera. Dr. Behera is currently serving as the Regional Director of Education in Berhampur, a position he held in September 2045. His distinguished academic journey began at Uttar University, where he completed his post-graduation in 1996. That same year, he demonstrated his exceptional academic caliber by securing the first position in philosophy quiz competition and winning the best paper presentation award. After qualifying for UGC NET and JRF, he joined Uttar University as a research scholar in 1997. Dr. Behera qualified for Odisha Education Service in 1998. Over his illustrious career, he has served as a lecturer at SKCG Autonomous College, Kerala County, Kalinga College, and SBR Govt Women's College also. He remains deeply engaged in research, having attended over 20 national and international seminars and published more than 10 research papers in reputed journals. Sir, I welcome you to this seminar. Next, it is a matter of immense pride to introduce our principal of this college, Dr. Deepak Kumar Mohanty sir. Dr. Mohanty is presently leading Govt B.Ed training college Kalinga under Berhampur University. With 18 years of extensive teaching experience, Dr. Mohanty brings a wealth of multidisciplinary knowledge and dynamic leadership to our institution. He earned his PhD from highly prestigious IIT Kharagpur. In addition to this, he also achieved an MSc in mathematics, an MTech in computer science, and an MA in education from Govt University. Before joining the Odisha Education Service, he contributed his profound expertise to renowned institutions such as Odisha Engineering College, IIT Kharagpur, KIT DIMD. Dr. Mohanty is a celebrated researcher whose areas of expertise include soft computing, optimization, artificial intelligence, and computer vision. He has secured patents and published extensively in top-tier international journals. His academic rigor has also been recognized with the Best Paper Presentation Award from both IIT Bhubaneswar and IIT Kharagpur. We are deeply honored to be guided by an exceptional panel of keynote speakers. These are individuals who have profoundly shaped the landscape of teacher education and research. It is my absolute privilege to introduce them to you today. Our first distinguished speaker is Professor Bimal Charan Spicer. Having more than 30 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration. He has held significant leadership roles, including serving as the Dean of Education at Berhampur University. He has also worked as a principal in DPSC Berhampur and KSUB Bhanjanagar. Professor Spicer is a prolific research scholar who has published more than 135 papers in different national journals. He is the author and editor of 34 books on education, including highly relevant research publications such as Vikasit Bharat 2047 and National Education Policy 2020. A dedicated mentor, he has successfully guided 10 PhD scholars, 13 MPhil scholars, and 40 M.Ed students for their dissertation. His outstanding contributions have been recognized with numerous, such as being named as India's top 100 authors in 2022, receiving the International Educational Award 2023, and being honored with the National Human World Record Award 2025. Next, it is my honor to introduce Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Pradhan sir. And the chairman of Department Research Committee in Education at Berhampur University. He is also the principal of DPSI Berhampur, a premier teacher training institution in Odisha. Professor Pradhan has maintained a first-class academic record throughout his career. He completed his graduation, post-graduation, MPhil and PhD at Ravenshaw College and holds an MA in English from IGNOU, as well as research articles in national, international, and UGC care listed journals. As a committed academic guide, more than 6 scholars have been awarded prestigious PhD degree under his active guidance, with another 5 currently pursuing studies. And his favorite academic field included educational philosophy, educational psychology, and language. Let us give a warm welcome to Professor Pradhan. Next, we are equally honored to have Professor Dr. Devendra Kumar Sethi sir with us today. Professor Sethi joined as a lecturer in education at NKCCT Anugul in 1999. His extensive administrative and academic journey includes serving as principal in charge at City Patna and working as the principal and professor of education at B.Ed City Koraput from 2023 to 2025. He is presently working at DPSA Koraput. As a dedicated researcher and mentor, he has guided 5 research scholars, more than 25 MPhil students, and 50 M.Ed students under Berhampur University. He has also contributed more than 20 articles in editorial books and reputed journals. Sir, you are welcome to our center. Finally, I am delighted to introduce Professor Dr. Sambit Kumar Padisa, Dr. Padi, Professor and Head in the Department of Education at Guru Ghasidas Vishwavidyalaya, a Central University in Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. He started his professional career as a lecturer in the Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar. With more than 1.5 decades of experience as a teacher and researcher, he has been a research sponsor of various UGC, HRDC and MMPPC centers across India. Dr. Padi has been actively involved in the preparation of self-learning materials for IGNO and NIOS. He has authored 6 books and has so far completed 4 research projects founded by the UGC, ICSSR and NCERT. Under his expert guidance, 7 PhD, 7 MPhil and 37 postgraduate students have been awarded their respective degrees. Let's welcome Dr. Padi to our national seminar.
Thank you, Susan. We now move to one of the most important moments on this university session. It's my honor to invite our chief guest, Dr. Narayan Mehta, Regional Director, Govt, to address this program. And sir, we are grateful for your presence and look forward for your valuable guidance. May I request you kindly deliver your address, please.
Respected principal sir, respected Kumar sir, respected Modu sir, all senior professors. For that reason, I prefer to call by the names. Okay, respected Padi sir, Professor Padi sir, and Philip sir ସେଠି ବସିଛନ୍ତି ତାପରେ ଆମର Eagle sir ବସିଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି ତାପରେ other teachers of this Govt institution and my dear student तो କହିବିନି the future nation builders of our glorious country, the on whose soldier the future of India is entrusted. I feel privileged to be part of this seminar. It gives me immense pleasure to know that this college is organizing a national seminar on the topic of pedagogy in the age of information abundance, the teaching for understanding and meaning. I feel honored to be invited as chief guest on this occasion, on this special academic endeavor, and to be part of it. Seminar like this provides a unique opportunity for teachers, research scholars and students to exchange their ideas, share their experience and explore new paths of learning. I congratulate the entire team of organizer, principal, then the convener, principal and convener, the co-convener and his team members to choose this topic which would immensely benefit the students and understanding the role of pedagogy in the age of information overflow and artificial intelligence and machine learning. If we analyze and reflect the development of the internet, after the development of internet and the intelligence, there is an abundance of information in all subjects. The age of information abundance makes the pedagogy has to shift its focus in a different way. In the age of information overload, the pedagogy is shifting from the model of scarcity, that is the way, for example, when we Bimal sir, Manu sir, ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲୁ ସେତେବେଳେ କ'ଣ ହଉଥିଲା ନା ଆମ ପାଖରେ କିଛି ବି ରିସୋର୍ସ ନଥିଲା, ଗୋଟିଏ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଥିଲା କେବଳ ଆମର ଟିଚର ବା ବହି ଥିଲା। ତ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ଏଟା ମୁଁ ସେଇ ସେନ୍ସରେ ଏଟା କହୁଛି ଯେ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଏଜ ଅଫ ସ୍କାର୍ସିଟି ଟୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଜ ଅଫ ଓଭରଫ୍ଲୋ ହେଇଗଲାଣି ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ। ତ ତେଣୁ ଆମର ମାନେ we have to, the teacher, the students and the method all have to change accordingly. So say sense so is shifting from the model of scarcity to the model of curation, connection and critical evaluation with information now readily, instantly and infinitely accessible via internet and AI. The focus of education has been moved from retention of the fact to the application and synthesis of knowledge. So, what are the core shifts in the pedagogy? From consumer to curator. The students are no longer just passive recipient. Teacher we don't have any information, we don't have any other we were not encouraged to question, but nowadays that is not the case. The students are no longer just passive recipient, they are encouraged to curate, remix and create knowledge through pedagogies of abundance. There is a shift from knowledgeable to knowledge-able. On those days, the people became knowledgeable, only knowledgeable. But nowadays, the knowledge, through the knowledge, the students and the persons, they became able. So, in this sense, the modern pedagogy emphasizes the ability to find, to organize, to analyze, to critical about the information rather than simply memorizing the information. So there is a connectivity, there is also critical thinking and respectable skepticism. So when there is a overflow of information, there is also possibility of the misinformation. The teacher has to make teacher and the student has to be aware of the misinformation and AI generated information, and they have to critically think about it, and they have to choose whether these informations are valid or reliable. We have to develop the skepticism and the critical thinking about the information. So in this context also there are key pedagogical framework like learning out loud, a framework that emphasizes authenticity, emotional and applied learning journey, moving beyond formal, encoding to the social and collaborative sense making. The 5C of pedagogy, that is clarity, curiosity, connection, collaboration and creativity, to prepare the students for the complex world, and these 5C's will be useful to develop the knowledge resource in a proper way. So digital, and another thing in the pedagogy, that is the digital and AI informed pedagogy. So utilize the adaptive learning technology and AI to personalize education, shifting the teacher's role from the expert at the front to a mentor and pedagogical mentor. So another thing is the open pedagogy, which practice that the use of open educational resource, that is OER, and invite the students to contribute to the knowledge of the global resource. So and in this context, the role of the educator is changing. The role of educator is not just an expert. It is a curator of the focus. He helps the students to manage the cognitive load and to find the which information are useful and which information they should discard. So this should be one of the great aspect of the teacher. Another thing is meta cognitive guide, especially teaching students to monitor and adopt their own thinking process as they navigate in the abundance of the information. So, and another thing is the digital use of the digital platform. Their students should be encouraged to raise the questions rather than just a passive learner. They should ask a better question. How they will think in a better way. This thing should be developed by the teacher or educator. So I think all these aspects aspects will be covered in the seminar, and I again appreciate the sincere effort of the principal, the organizing committee to take this painstaking but meaningful endeavor to make this seminar a reality. This type of seminar does not only enhance the academic achievement but also inspire the young mind, the researcher to engage in research and innovation, which would be beneficial for the students and the research scholars, and also the expert who are there, who are presenting their papers. And also this seminar will make the concept clear to the students and the participants. Lastly, I extend my best wishes that the seminar will be a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir will explain how the important role of the teacher. And nowadays, we have the lots of the research. But without proper guidance, without proper teacher, every resource is useless. Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and insightful address. Now I invite Professor Sambit Kumar Padi, an esteemed educationalist and the academician. I request you, sir, kindly deliver your valuable words, and sir, please welcome, sir.
Honorable Regional Director from Berhampur sector, respected Prince of this B.Ed college, the Principal I'm not other than the IITian. Because my academic mentor, so-called supervisor of my young brother, Professor Bimal Saran Swai sir, my elderly figure, who is the principal and the creator of this college, not other than Professor Manoj sir. I consider him as my teacher, Professor Devan sir, friends from different parts of the country, men from Ramadevi University, my younger brother Dilip sir, and all of my young, energetic faculty, young brothers and lovable students. Friends, I must congratulate the initiative of Kalinga B.Ed College. The moment I thought why such type of names have been encrypted, the Kalinga, I understand that all beauty, all glamour, all intellectuals, all academic is concentrated in the college. So the infrastructure wise, the academic wise, the administrative wise, it is one of the right place. Every intellectual must visit the place before discussing any kind of, before discussing any phenomena, any discussions. Friends, I must congratulate the idea, the thoughts of conceptualizing such type of academic seminar, the pedagogy in the age of information. I am in a position not finding the right person to pronounce the words, letter of written, and finally in terms of meaning. Friends, if I critically analyze not the pedagogy but the information, I always find some formation is in, not in out. That's why the information. And the moment we are putting inside some formations, the moment we are putting some concept, the moment we are putting some construct, internalize this is not a matter of information, but friends. So there are a lot of arguments, there are a lot of debates, there are a lot of discourses, whether we are standing and talking about the information X. If you ask me the question, I write the answer in two sides. Definitely, we are talking about the information X, but we are the right people. Through the catalytic agent, that is pedagogy, we have to convert into information into other forms. So friends, in the information X, I understand that the students, the green students coming from the top of the Karal to the down line of the Kalasa and Jalasa, many of my students, lovable students, what I am looking here. So they are not out talking about the information X, but do not think that without their teacher, without their principal, without the science and other faculty members, can you translate the idea into action? Definitely not. Definitely not. And definitely not. So friends, in the age of artificial intelligence, we must not deny the intellectuals' creative idea of human intelligence. That's why if you ask me again and again, I will not be in favor of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence can be thought up with the human intelligence. So I went through a newspaper, the great academician, once they write in the Times of India, human intelligence is first and it will be followed by the artificial intelligence. You can go through the columns of the international sites. So we have our renowned educationist Professor Bimal Saran Swai, who is proficient in talking about the artificial intelligence, its challenges, its opportunity, its space and everything. And I must salute the faculty members, young and energetic faculty members under the academic leadership of principal sir. They have rightly chosen the right topic in the right moment. That is pedagogy in the age of information. So friends, so I was finding, so how it would be connected? Whether there will be connections, there will be association between pedagogy and information. Definitely, I understand that information is the essential component through which pedagogy can be translated. I am not talking about the information. My concern is information, nothing but the content. Friends, I don't understand. So, a teacher of any stage, a teacher of any age, unless and until you are having sound and proficient in your information, so pedagogy has no meaning. ପିଲାମାନେ ଆପଣ ସମସ୍ତେ ବୁଝିପାରୁଥିବେ, you might be proficient, you might be having good qualification from Banaras University, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Utkal University, Sambhalpur University, even not the Bharatpur University. We are having a lot of universities. So why did we visit such kind of university? And provided the answer would be yes, we visited such type of university, we received our degree to get the content. And friends, in order to translate the content into ideas, in order to translate the content into text, in order to translate the idea into actions, in order to translate the idea into creativity, in order to translate the idea into wisdom, we require the pedagogy teacher. That's why if you go through the different regulations of the National Council for the teacher education, we require two sets of teachers. And there is a kind of fine integration and creative combination of the teachers. Just you analyze, just you make a comparison where you did your postgraduate and graduate, and what you are doing in the Kalinga, Kandhamal, a great, significant, illustrious college located in the tribal setup of this Odisha. So do you not think that after getting your degree, so you could have a great teacher? So what is the need of coming to the B.Ed college? So definitely, so B.Ed college is an additional component, that is pedagogy component. And friends, defining pedagogy, conceptualizing pedagogy is a great question. I remember the days, many of the time I became hell. And I become hell and hell. The moment expert asked, so what are you teaching now? I used to say, sir, I am teaching science. So what are you teaching in science? So is there a name of the subject I am teaching of science? Without understanding his intention. So I spontaneously told, sir, I am a teacher of pedagogy of science. Then all left, right, started there. I could not able to convince him. So what is pedagogy? Whether it is teaching, whether it is methodology, whether it is techniques, whether it is tactics, whether it is teaching learning materials. But I didn't have the response. And later on, humbly I asked, sir, you may not give me the job here, but can you respond the question? And can you answer the question what you have asked for the 30 minutes? Friends, he was one of the professor, and later on the vice chancellor of South Bihar University, and he was become silent of providing his question to answer. That's why this is the time there will not any conceptualized definition of pedagogy. I understand. Many of my seniors, many of my proficient teachers are sitting here, but the moment we start of talking pedagogy, I become silent myself. And I always develop a hypothesis that whatever answer will be coming, and these are all probable answers. So in this connection, I would like to draw your attention, friends. So pedagogy has no any conceptual definitions, and it is always decided by the teacher who is transacting the content. So my friends, younger brother sitting here in the front of me. So who is the principal of Kandhamal College, Kandhamal College? The way he taught to the students, then it might be different for me. So my teacher who is sitting here, the way he experienced and provided the knowledge, it must be different from the others. And interestingly, I found one of my teachers, great teacher who was sitting here, so coming with an invitation card, and he so magnificently provided the idea of mathematics in his invitation card for a perfect square, symmetric way. So going to make the binary operations. Do you think that so the way he translated his idea, social life, into mathematical form, how अलग अलग लोगों ने ताका social life को ये canonical form में present कर रहे हैं. तेरे सब pedagogy is not always a textbook definition. What I understand, and pedagogy has no any specific meaning. It is always decided. It is always decided on the basis of context. It is always decided on the basis of students. It is always decided on the basis of the level of students. It is always decided on the basis of teachers. It is always decided on the basis of the students to whom you are going to teach. Friends, without taking much of your time, I remember a great philosopher Osho. You might have gone through. And Osho was teaching in a class, and it was like a Kandhamal classroom. And Osho was thinking, I am the great teacher. So the moment Osho came out from the class, so he was thinking that everybody should make a clap. Pilaman is the clap. Osho, after all, he was a great teacher. but the student who was sitting nearby the window and he was perfectly looking at outside. So पिला खिड़की पाखरे बसले से बाहर को देखुले. So also was so angry and he had a kind of ahankar. He was thinking that I am a great teacher. Why student is putting attention outside the class? So he called the student and asked, so do you not think that I am a great teacher? The student responded very perfectly and submissively, sir, you never be a good teacher because you are not having the understanding of pedagogy, but he rightly told the scenery, the melody, the music was going outside the class was quite interesting and exciting in your class. I understand that the philosophical meaning you can able to convey and able to understand. So teacher, the dress is different, the height is different, the color is different, the way is different. But I understand that knowledge are the senses of all organs, senses are the gateway of all knowledge. So ame kimti pilaman ko preparation karuche. This is very important. So you might be very confident and proficient in knowledge, but if you don't know how to transact the knowledge, if you don't know how to calculate the knowledge, if you do not understand the individual needs and aspirations of the students, so people will reject you like anything. So friends, so in order to salute the national education policy, a matter of 66 pages, it was repeatedly talking about experiential learning, calling the people who have never went to the school and expertising using his expertise in order to teach the students. So I must salute a great teacher like Balram sir, and there are n number of teachers. Why not the Kandhamal B.Ed college under the leadership of principal and my young friends? Why not you are going to recognize the unique talents? आपण माने भावुଛନ୍ତି कि ଆମେ B.Ed करके आछे, M.Ed करके आछे, B.Ed करके आछे, will we get teacher? So please and please, so एक प्रकार अहंकार आपण मानको मनर दूरे दियो. So pedagogy does not require any qualification. What I understand that yes, regional director may say UGC regulation 2018 में से SCERT director में से भाई MA करवा दरकार और B.Ed करवा दरकार, then only you will be eligible and make unless until that you cannot provide the provision of applying. Friends, it is all right. Qualification is all right. Experience is another element, and I understand that this is the time to provide opportunity to students and learners who is really interested to learn. Muktara kaha kuch baat nahi. I underline the word who is interested to learn, who is excited to learn. So provide experiences, provide interpretations, provide testimony. So encourage the students. Then only learning is possible. Friends, I used to say in every class, you can take a horse into water, but you cannot make him into drink. So घोड़ा को पानी को पाक नहीं पाएगा, घोड़ा को पानी पाक नहीं चले पाएगा. So you know in physics घोड़ा और horse has 746 watt. आप लोगों ने कहा कहते हैं मेगावाट होती. So आप लोगों का प्रिंसिपल, आप लोगों का रीजनल डायरेक्टर कहीं भी आसले आप लोगों को पढ़ाई पाने वाली unless and until you are ready to learn. So readiness is very much important. And my younger brother are sitting here. So there are n number of learning here. And learning is the minimum component and learning is the fundamental component. So in part of education. Unless and until you learn something, so there is no meaning of education. Education is nothing but modification of behavior. Samay chali gana. So behavior is something unless and until you learn something. And learning can be exerted through assessment, through in your behavior. ଯେତେବେଳେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆପଣ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ତ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଆଜିକାଲ ଭଳିଆ ଟିଚର ଏଜୁକେସନ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନରେ କିଛି ଦରକାର ହିଁ ନାହିଁ. So my concern, my earnest request to all the teacher education, not only Kalinga, Kandhamal, but also across the globe. So you prepare the students, they will be ready to learn. Once they will be ready to learn, nothing is required, and you can implement the idea at your home. ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାଟା ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁନି ତାକୁ କେତେ ବି କିଛି କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ଯେତେ ପ୍ରକାର ଆପଣ ଲଜେକ୍ସ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ, କିଛି ବି ଆଇଡିଆ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ, you don't need a position to learn. ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାକୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଘରେ ପଢେଇ ପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି, ଆପଣମାନେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି କି ଆମର ଯୋଉ ୟଙ୍ଗ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏଟ୍ସ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଏଟ୍ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା ଜାଗାରୁ ପଢିଆ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟିରୁ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ପଢିବେ. So this is my suggestion to everybody. So that's why teacher has to help its dharma and karma. So ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ଧର୍ମ କର୍ମ ସବୁ you are going to be the best teachers in the globe. ନା ଆପଣମାନେ ଏଇ କନ୍ଧମାଳ ଆଉ ମୟୂରଭଞ୍ଜ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଚିତ୍ର ବନେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି. So your pedagogy understanding is important and your content proficiency is important. Now national education policy and all policies are putting three important components. We need to prepare the competent teachers. Friends, What are the definition of competent teachers? Do you think that factual knowledge can make you a competent teacher? Never, never and never not. आपको content knowledge दिले, आपको best teacher बनने आप में मुश्किल हो, because your people will reject you like anything, because you don't know how to translate your knowledge into the students. You don't know what are the pathways to make the students become convinced. So ମୁଁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଭାବେ catalyst. So pedagogy is a great significant positive catalyst. Sir is sitting here from the IITs. So you understand that catalytic role is nothing to just to promote the reaction, promote the chemical reaction. We call our teachers. We must not think what is happening. We must not get the gift of the students. ପିଲାମାନେ କିଛି ବି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ବା କିଛି ବି ନ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ. But if you are having the content and pedagogy simultaneously, if you can make an integration between content and your pedagogy, no doubt people may not remember you. People may reject you during the B.Ed program, but later on they will remember you on account of this teacher. I could able to be a great teacher. So pedagogy खाली तरीके पढ़ाई. So your body language, your attitude, your approach, your body contact, your eye contact, your appreciation, everybody. So pedagogy is not only associated with content facts. The way you are approaching, the ethical components, the aesthetic components, so everything is required. That's why I remember again and again, I must again to inform you that information is required, friends, in terms of content, and the content pedagogy will become disabled. Pedagogy will become handicapped without contents. So this is the great idea of country like Bharat. So I don't know the idea of the other teacher education program of the globe. So first you are getting the content. Do you think that you will get the B.Ed, then only you can get your graduation? अपन माने भावना थी कि आगे B.Ed करेगा तो आपने graduation करना हो? Never. So the content, the intent and content is quite clear. The description and prescription is rightly maintained. So first you get your content, then automatically your pedagogy would be emerged from you. अपन माने जानते हैं, if you like to make a good singer, so you require the text of the singing. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥର ଭଜନ ନାହିଁ, ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଭଜନ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ରଖି ନାହାନ୍ତି, ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଭଜନକୁ ନିଜ ଇଚ୍ଛାରେ ଗାଇପାରିବେ କି? Never. It never happens in any context. That's why in this context, so we require certain conditions, we require certain permutations and combinations, what we need to do. So in this context, my concern is that students, I understand that you would be the eye opener for the other parts of the country. There are n number of opportunities in central and state governments. You need to know we are having central schools, Kendriya Vidyalaya, we are having Eklavya Model Residential schools, we are having Kasturba Gandhi Vidyalaya, we are having the others model school what Manas was telling during the visit from the Sambalpur to Kandhamal. You are having n number of schools. But if you are a good teacher, people will remember you. If you are a good teacher, people will run after you. There are teachers. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଟିଚର ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର ହେଇଯାଉଛି ପୁରା ଗାଁ ଦୌଡ଼େ ଦୌଡ଼େ ଚାଲିଛି. ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆଉ କିଛି ଏମିତି ଟିଚର ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ପେଡାଗୋଜିକୁ ଠିକ୍ ଠାକ୍ କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟକୁ ପେଡାଗୋଜିକୁ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଇ ଲୋକ କେମିତି ଜଲ୍ଦି ପଢ଼ାଇଯିବା ପରେ ଚାହାନ୍ତି. ତ what there are two categories. In what category you like to fall? ଆପଣମାନେ କୋଉ category ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି? You decide. Decision is with yours. If you do not decide, don't put the football to the others. ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ସେ football ୟୁଜ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ. So this is the time. So take the decision. So you need to have your content first. If you are coming to the B.Ed Kandhamal college, why not you are coming to the class 9, 10 science book and mathematics book? Then you ask your teacher, sir, यही mathematics का मुझे पढ़िया भाई. So for exam में A plus B whole square सीखेंगे. So what would be the pedagogy? And I understand that I am also handicapped of such teachers. I used to say I am the pedagogy teacher of mathematics. I am the pedagogy teacher of science. But the moment students used to ask, "Are देखिए वही विद्यार्थी थी?" And sir, for your information, I would like to mention that we are going to start the integrated teacher education program across the globe. Sir, तो IIT Kharagpur राष्ट्रपति, the IIT Kharagpur is one of the leading institutions which has already started the IIT program including Bhubaneswar. अपन माने IIT का कितना syllabus देखिए. Have you ever observed, friends? You need to have a kind of observation for your attention there. So पूरा आइटम सिलेबस में लिटिल क्रिटिकली एनालाइज समझते एजुकेशन लोग तक बने चाहिए. मैं एजुकेशन लोगों को कहूँगी आई एम आल्सो वन ऑफ द फेलो फ्रॉम द एजुकेशन डोमेन्स, बट द मोमेंट वी थिंक अबाउट द डिसिप्लिन, सर डिसिप्लिन को छाड़ी के देते हैं मजेदार. सो इट विल बी एज पर द यूनिवर्सिटी नॉर्म्स. सो वी आर गोइंग टू prepare the teachers for the social sciences, you are going to prepare for the foundation level, you are going to prepare the teachers for the middle level, secondary level, then why not the discipline subject? Do you think that discipline you are of the sacred category of the education? So everybody has the bimatrical manner will be weak in the content. And the moment you will be weak in the content, so your position, your identity will be a great question whether you can prosper in the teaching learning process or not. That's what, friends. So my concern is that, so understanding is very much important. We need to have a kind of shift. So from the recalling to understanding, we are having a pedagogy which is rightly focused on the observations. We are having the pedagogy, we are putting rightly emphasis on the lower order shifting, that is kind of shifting from the lower order thinking to higher thinkings. I must have a kind of respect to certain peoples in and around the country. So before some time we are going to have the questionnaire of problem solving. So problem solving is about questionnaire one of my students got the UGC fellowship. मतलब बार-बार से बहुत सा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग का क्वेश्चन ठीक ठीक बने हमें प्रॉब्लम्स में कौन बने एजुकेशन में प्रॉब्लम्स के क्वेश्चन बनेगा हो so you decide what is the subject, whether it will be physics or it will be chemistry or it will be biochemistry or it will be history. He decided I am a person from the physics or I am a person from the science. I would like to prepare the question. So he took around 1 year, sir. Still you are not qualified. The problem solving of question बने आप से everyone का बने पाएंगे sir. I don't know whether he can get the degree from my end or not. So this is the same problem. I hope the expert educationists are sitting here. So most of the time we devote to prepare the clues. Why? Because we are not in a position to prepare the content. हमें content को कैसे organize करेगा? पिला को problem solving question बनेगा भाई. Sir, I do have one observation. In 1986, you can find the problem solving question. आप अगर problem solving question है आपको मिलेगा. If some other observation you are the young faculty members, if you like to have a research on the problem solving, I doubt in that. So science का problem solving question है अपन तो India रे बनेगा. अब जब भी बनेगी चिंता को सारा अचीवमेंट बढ़िया क्वेश्चन बने थे पिला असली ना करेगा. So इनके काम तो भाई चलेगा. So आपण मान को भला इंस्टीट्यूट में काम करेगा अच्छी. तेरे you think your pedagogy if not possible. A information age रे artificial intelligence का idea is still one. So I understand that we need to take the help of that machine intelligence. But machine intelligence को नहीं कि artificial intelligence को नहीं कि आपण माने और अन्य माने parasite वर्क करनी. This is the idea. It must not pedagogy and content must not go run parallel. So that human intelligence and machine intelligence must not run parallel. Why not we are thinking a good combination between the artificial intelligence and human intelligence, and always human intelligence supersedes the artificial intelligence. Friends, if you remember, ये जो artificial intelligence कथा कहा जाऊँ, creativity कथा कहा जाऊँ, critical thinking कथा कहा जाऊँ, और curiosity कथा कहा जाऊँ. So हमें समझते मनुष्य ना कभी बने हैं. So आपण माने जो वायरस बने जाते हैं और लिटिल बॉय फैटमैन बढ़िया जो एटम बम हिरोशिमा नागासाकी रे पड़ची पूरा दी रिस्पांसिबल था. Definitely I can responsible to myself. So हमें माने something separation, the disguises, the construction, the destruction are always based on the human intelligence. In what way you are working? हमें समझते टीचर, हमें at least if we create one individual in my life, then it will be a best gift for me. You know, friends. So दो महीने कौन लिखा है? So कचर महीने कौन लिखा है? सिद्धिक महीने कौन लिखा है? से बढ़िया pedagogy को आप हमारे use करोगे. Artificial intelligence को blindly use करोगे. You put your intelligence. Look at the materials required for that. Then only. So I can say that your pedagogy would be one of the best pedagogy. People will start exploring you. People will start searching. So सही सार को पकड़े पड़ेगा. I might have seen the physics वाला. खान साहब का क्लास अपन माने अपन brothers and sisters ये math classes न होते हैं. So why we have people even though he is teaching in absolutely in Hindi. तापर भी हम English students सब खान साहब का क्लास में पढ़ेगा बच्चे. Physics वाला को पकड़े पढ़ेगा बच्चे. So why? Because the way they are teaching, the affinity they have been developed, the love and affection they are showing. So this is very important. Friends, समस्त का है content knowledge. Let us work together. Let us sit together. So English fellow can work with science fellow. Science fellow can work with social science fellow. And unless and until we are having a kind of log manthan, unless and until we are having the integration of the karma yoga, dharma yoga, and bhakti yoga. So a teacher must be a colonel. A teacher must be a colonel. I'm not putting any kind of remark on this dharma and this dharma. So dharma is nothing, a teacher's dharma is nothing but the putting the right work in right time and to do best to his children. ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ କାମ ପିଲାମାନେ ଯାହା ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ କାମ ଯଦି ଆମକୁ ଆମେ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ କରିବା, this is a righteous work for a teacher. Friends, so many things what I expressed from my random ideas of my little experiences I expressed before you. मते जड़ा पड़नी मगर you might be feeling worried, but it was a kind of wonderful experiences to reaching a place like Kandhamal, where I'm finding the beautiful, lovable faces who are going to lead the country in form of teacher as Kandhamal is our system. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Let us come together, work together, sit together, expert the people who are around the nearby villages like Professor Dr. Balram Sahu sir, and so that we can call the champions. We are having the new pedagogy which are not in your B.Ed syllabus, which are not written in your B.Ed syllabus, so that we are having the innovative pedagogy, and that innovative pedagogy will be beneficial for our children who are thinking, who are aspiring to have the best pedagogy in the information age. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and for your presence here. Namaskar, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Odisha, Jai Kandhamal.
Thank you so much, Professor Samir Kumar Pai sir. Sir told many things, but one more thing is important: the role of the pedagogy. After graduation, we came here for B.Ed. Almost we know all the content, but how to teach? What are the methodology? All the things, the teaching process, we have to learn in the pedagogy. That's why without pedagogy, teacher and pedagogy, we cannot properly provide a lesson. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, sir, for your insightful address. Now, it's my privilege to invite Professor Bimal Chandra Swami, a distinguished academician and respected scholar in the field of education. Sir, may I request to kindly deliver your keynote address. And please come, sir. We are also privileged to have Professor Rajesh Kumar Saha joining our online, and sir, may I request to kindly deliver your keynote address. Please, sir. I request for Sushant sir, please give the address to Professor Rajesh Kumar.
Thank you, sir. I welcome Professor Rajesh Kumar Saha sir in online mode to our 2 days Dastar seminar. Sir, you are welcome to our seminar. It is my absolute privilege to introduce our esteemed online keynote speaker joining us today, Professor Rajesh Kumar Saha. Professor Saha is currently serving as a professor in the Department of Education at the Regional Institute of Education, Mysore under NCERT. He brings a wealth of knowledge to our seminar with over 2 decades of dedicated service in the field of education. Having previously held professorial positions at Rabindra Bharati University and Satyapriya Roy College of Education. At RI Mysore, he shoulders significant administrative responsibilities, serving as the coordinator of diploma course in guidance and counseling and the chairperson of the campus development committee. Professor Saha's academic journey is truly remarkable. He holds a Ph.D. in education from the University of Calcutta. Showcasing his immense dedication to continuous learning, he has earned multiple postgraduate degrees in English, education and psychology. His vast expertise covers crucial areas shaping our field today, including educational policy and practices, developmental and positive psychology, tribal education and early childhood care and education. As a prolific academic, he has published 6 books, 15 research articles and contributed 14 chapters to various academic books. He is also a dedicated mentor, having successfully guided for PhD scholars in their research journey. Please join in with me in extending a warm virtual welcome to Professor Rajesh Kumar Pankaj.
Yes. But I request other microphone, please. Okay. Good afternoon to each and everyone. I am very sorry that I cannot meet physically with you in this national seminar organized by Govt B.Ed Training College, Kalinga. At first, I want to express my gratitude to Dr. Kumar Mohanty, who invited me to give a keynote address on the topic pedagogy in an age of information abundance, teaching for understanding and meaning. So thank you all. I know that listening continuously is not easy, but I am not going to make you overburdened with information. I am just going to give you some ideas or some facts which may help you to think and rethink as a educationist, as a teacher's trainer. So first of all, as considering the title pedagogy and the age of information abundance. So my dear friends and respected teachers, when we are talking about education, learning, the focus should be inward, not external. I'm repeating, when we are thinking, we are considering learning, it should be inward journey, internalization rather than an external force. And I fully believe with Jiddu Krishnamurti's quotation that no teacher, no book can teach you. You can learn from yourself. It is an endless process. It is a fascinating process. When you learn from yourself, you become wise. Wisdom comes. So when we are focusing on teaching for understanding and meaning, and for that pedagogy become a big issue, we have to understand exactly what is the role of teachers now in 21st century. So unless we see the change which is taking place around us, unless we predict the future, we cannot understand exactly what is the role of a teacher in 21st century in the age of AI, machine learning, data science, algorithm. So first of all, I want to say that if a teacher is focusing on what to teach, then I am sorry to say teacher is no more needed in the age of AI. If you have minimum idea of AI and it is not developed yet properly and fully, it is just 20% of development all we have perceived. In this developmental phase, we see that a child can learn individually exactly what he wants to learn, and there is one of the best teachers in the form of AI who can provide information in a significant manner, in a very systematic manner, and the system may help the child to learn or to know, to understand in their own way. So, what is the role of the teacher then? If a child can learn at the highest level from AI with the machines, so what is the role of the teacher? So first of all, I want to say that when we are talking about teaching and learning, there are several levels of learning. I am just going to give you an idea of there are several levels of learning. Memory level of learning, understanding level of learning, application level of learning. Actually, in classroom situation, we only focus on that. But when we are trying to understand what is the difference between knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom, what is the difference between knowledgeable person, intelligent person, and wise person, we would understand what is the importance of higher level of thinking, higher level of learning, which is basically the inward journey rather than external support. So how to connect the dots in your own way, how to make your brain, the system more effective. You cannot reach the highest level of learning that culminates in wisdom. So when we learn some information meaningfully, we may say that I have a knowledge on this field. When we apply that information, meaningfully learned information in our real life situation, we may say that you are very intelligent. You intelligently solve the problem. So applying the information which is learned meaningfully is your intelligence or application level. So more or less our school classroom teaching limited to that only. When we are talking about pedagogy, the teacher make the students learn anything meaningfully and teach them how to apply that knowledge in real life situation to solve any problem. But this is the surface level of learning. The highest level of learning is reflecting, predicting. So that is related to wisdom. Wisdom means when on the basis of your learned knowledge and information, when you can predict the situation, you can see the future, foresight what is going to happen. That is called wiseness. So this would be our focus in 21st century. I am telling confidently as I am dealing with different students and I am in the profession for a considerable time. I am very much confident that unless a child is leading towards the wisdom, I am just giving one example of wiseness. Suppose a very elegant, beautiful girl, when at the time of marriage, several 20 to 25 eligible bachelor come forward to marry her, but how he is going to decide and select someone and later on his decisions are very successful and very fruitful. He lead a very happy, contented life. That means when he is selecting someone, he is predicting on the future and he is predicting about his happy conjugal life and it is exactly happening. Then we say that your decision was wise. So wiseness is very much related with your prediction. Think about Indian economy today. Our Prime Minister, beloved Prime Minister, when he is talking about digital infrastructure, when he is talking about Jan Dhan Yojana, no one is understanding that. Everybody is talking about that in India, everybody should have a bank account, and many people in village cannot sign what is the purpose of account, and where minimum facility is not there, you are talking about digital India. And then come demonetizations. Everybody started to quarrel and shout. But ultimately, you see the result of Jan Dhan Yojana, digital India, and demonetization. Within 4 to 5 years, India become the number one in digital transaction. You see that one decision transform the Indian economy and make India towards the third largest economy. So many money has been spent in publishing currency, black money, tax, people don't pay tax. Now everything is crystal clear. We now forget to carry the money bag. We go anywhere with our phone. So what is that? That is a wise decision. So it has a greater impact in our life. So we have to make our child that powerful that they can predict and take decisions, and it has a great implications. That comes with higher level of learning that is called analysis, analytical ability. What is the analysis? When you see an issue or problem and you can break the problem into
Incoming voice call from Kishore Live Set.
the meaning of each part. That is called analysis. Suppose a coach, if you want to improve the batting of a batsman, the coach focus on each and every aspects of batting, each and every stance, his head positions, his posture, his body movement, weight transfer for each and every shot. He focus on that from fitness level to concentration level. Then only he can support a person to become an extraordinary player. So he work on his physical fitness, not only as a whole physical fitness, on each specific muscle they work on, and then he become an extraordinary cricketer. So solving problem needs analysis. The analytical mind helps a person to break a whole into specific meaningful part. This is very important. After analysis comes judgment. Judgment with clarity. What is the clarity has to be there when I am breaking it down, when I am getting the meaning, when I am associating the parts, the clarity should be there. The prioritizations. Priority is important. There may be several options, but which option is in the top? We have to categorize that in a meaningful manner. That is called judgment. And then comes the ability of synthesis, when we connect different dots in our own way. The dot may be connected from philosophy discipline with the dot of neuroscience. So, my dear friends, if you go to YouTube, there is a very famous channel. A neuroscientist explain human brain and its functioning with Bhagavad Gita. It is wonderful. If you go there, if you listen, then you will find that how the dot can be connected in a very unique and creative manner. Synthesis is your creation. How you are creative, your creative manifestation is important. One of my scholars has done a PhD research on scientific creative potential. Now what is happening, you see, good students, so-called good students, with the support of coaching, get chance in IITs, but highest level of suicide is taking place in IITs. What is the reason? One of the reasons is that with proper coaching, you may crack an exam and get a chance in IIT, but to do well, to excel in IIT, you need scientific creative potential. When the children are lost in information. That is your point. The age of information abundance. You forget to think deeply. You lack critical thinking. You lack creative solution, creative thinking, ability to analyze, judgment, and synthesis. And above all, the most important, the reflection. So, how to develop the highest level of thinking? That should be our focus of pedagogy. Okay, so critical thinking, problem solving ability, creative thinking, and reflective thinking, these are all higher level of thinking. So for that, what is important? I am telling very seriously, I am very much fascinated today about neuroscience. If we consider, analyze our brain, you see at me, the 90% of our brain is cerebrum, that is called thinking brain. The cerebrum has two phases. One is left hemisphere and another is right hemisphere. You all know that. The left hemisphere has several lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. I am not making you bore with the information. I am just giving some information which is needed to understand the functioning of our brain. Because when we are teaching our children, we are not teaching their kidney or heart to develop their functioning. We are teaching to develop their cognitive functioning, their brain, spinal system, all everything, the nervous system. So unless you make your system more effective, our brain is like a computer. Unless your hard disk, your configuration is appropriate, you cannot run high-end software. Suppose you want to run video editing software, you cannot run it in any normal computer. You need high-end configuration for that. So we upload software from our social and cultural process, from our heritage and from our school or teaching learning process. That is the uploading system of software. But we have to first focus on our configuration, cognitive restructuring. These are very important words today. Calibration of your brain. We have to understand that. So what is I am telling very seriously? The left brain is engaged in memory, logical thinking, reasoning, and your right brain is your emotions, creation, and intuitions. These are two parts. In other words, you can say that this is our male brain, this is our female brain. Right brain is our female brain, left brain is our male brain. And in between there is a limbic system, you all know. Thalamus, hypothalamus, hippocampus, corpus callosum and amygdala. This includes our limbic system. And corpus callosum is a very important white part of limbic system which make a balance between our left hemisphere with right hemisphere. The problem with us is that normal human being more or less dominated by one half of the brain. Someone is very logical, very reasonable, and they lack to some extent emotions, empathy, and they suffer because of loneliness, lack leadership quality. On the other hand, someone may be driven by their emotion and make some mistake in their life. So what is needed? You have to be artha-narisar. That means the well mixture of your emotions and intelligence. That is called emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence physiologically depends on the corpus callosum. Okay, so that is called the if I am a man, unless I develop feminine quality within me, I cannot be a higher level of thinker, the intuitive learner, the reflective thinker. And a woman, if she also failed to inculcate the reason, the masculine features within her, she cannot be completed. Think about Ma Durga and Asura. Ma Durga is always in right side and Asura is always in left side. That means when Ma Durga is killing Asura, that means the woman is in incarnation of power, and the power of man is inculcated with Ma Durga. That is the ideal scenario. So philosophy and our brain is interrelated. And behind our cerebrum, there is cerebellum, which is known as little brain. That is very important. And we have brain stem, which is connected to our spinal cord. From where 12 pairs of nerve cable spread throughout our body. So these are the basic things. Our little brain, cerebellum, is very important. It's like a very efficient secretary. If your secretary is very efficient, the owner do not have to think so much. Tata, or for example, Ambani, do not have to interfere in each and every problem of the office. That can be well looked after by the secretary. So if your cerebellum is very strong and very effective, then in mundane different types of activity, the skill you learn, it can be controlled by your little brain and make your main brain, cerebrum, give them option, give the cerebrum the time to think deeply. For example, if when a singer is singing and playing guitar on the stage at the same time, the guitar is played by his cerebellum, the little brain, and when he is singing, means he is integrating emotions with his speech that is done through his cerebrum. So actually what I am trying to mean, that unless you make your system more effective, you cannot learn, you cannot reach the higher level of learning, you cannot generate value in your life. Unless you are in a position to generate value, you are nowhere in the competitive world of AI and machine learning. So unless your value generation is not optimal level, you can be replaced by machine. You see every now and then the information is coming that company is shedding 40% of their employee only because the service has been done by the machine AI, not any more manual labor is needed. Now we are leading towards the future where we are going to be very insecure because we do not know exactly the impact of AI in our life. We don't know exactly whether in higher education students are coming in the campus, staying in hostel and getting education, or they will get education in from digital university, from online courses. So that is important, that if you can learn alone with the help of some system and get a degree and that is valid, and on the basis of your learning, if you get job, you do not spend so much money and effort to go any university and get some lectures from the teachers. It may not be like that. So we have to think in the context of 21st century. So most important thing is that we have to focus on not what to learn, but how to learn. And the basic principle of how to learn is anchoring. If we are over flooded with information, that means our brain is just getting the information and not anchoring on that. Anything excess is poison. This is a problem of 21st century. This is one of the most important issues today. So what is the precondition? Precondition is that teaching the learner how to connect with your inner self, how to think reflectively, how to generate ideas and anchor on an ideas. These are the preconditions. So for that, what is needed? Simply, then going back to our mool, means our own education system, the great Indian education philosophy, which is reflected in Rabindranath Santiniketan. What Rabindranath told? Rabindranath told that education is not a conscious process. It's a unconscious, subconscious process. When a child enjoying the midst of nature, the true knowledge infiltrated in his mind will unconsciously. Vivekananda told, education is not putting information in your brain and runs riot all your life. Education is something else, standing on your own feet. The same Vivekananda told that you may be one of the most intellectual people the world has ever seen, but you cannot reach the God. Cultivate your heart. Through the heart the Lord speaks. That means cultivate your right brain. Don't go for reason, profit, loss. Develop your affective domain and integrate your passions with your emotions and your goal. So, how to integrate instinctive impulse with your life's purpose? That is the basic thing today. So, in fine, I don't want to make you bored and fatigued by my long lecture. Just one thing I want to say, that the role of the teacher has been changed today. And here pedagogy does not mean only teaching a subject, making the student understand the information meaningfully. It can be done by anyone. So today knowledge is not important. Knowledge means the meaningful information that can be learned by the system, by AI, through AI, YouTube, so many things is there. So what is our role? Our role is to aligning the instinctive impulse of the learner towards his purpose. That is making the learner self-aware, making this learner aware about how to learn, how to develop your capacity. That's why in National Education Policy, the term is focused on capacity building, sustainable development, holistic development, knowledge construction, and skill acquiring. And skill, when we are talking about skill acquisition, it is not any skill by which we make something. One of the most important skills is your cognitive skills, your higher level of thinking skills, your metacognitive abilities, metacognitions. These become very important today. But unfortunately, in the age of AI, in the age of mobile, in the age of social media, we are so much distracted. Our dopamine is a very important neurotransmitter. It is empty today. That is as a result, we cannot concentrate. We cannot even read a single page. Our mind is fluctuating every now and then. And that is one of the challenges. So pedagogy does not mean here to teach skillfully, art of teaching and scientific teaching. The pedagogy should be to making the learner aware of himself, trying to develop his thinking capacity, highest level of critical thinking ability, connecting with his inner self through different process. Yoga may be one, pranayama may be one, just morning walk and thinking on any ideas, that may be one process. So this is very important. I hope within limited time I have tried to reflect on the topic. So if you have any questions you can ask, or otherwise the time is up, then you can.
Students, if you have any question, you can ask.
Question and answer. Question and answer. आंसर को
No question is there.
Sir, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Sir, during the time of your presentation, you highlighted the very high level of thinking, just like the critical thinking, reflective thinking, creative thinking, and problem solving abilities. At the same time, you put the number of examples regarding the information, understanding, and meaning of the pedagogy in an age of information. Can you explain regarding the reflective thinking and creative thinking with one example? What are the basic difference between reflective thinking and critical thinking with one example?
Okay. Critical thinking means to some extent your analytical thinking ability when you can not receiving anything at a whole, you are going deep into the process and you can break the whole into very meaningful parts and you have a clear perception of the parts. That is critical analysis. Critical analysis means analyzing means breaking whole into parts. That is critical thinking. Second, you are talking about reflective thinking. I have already given an example. Reflective thinking is on the basis of your concrete information when you can predict the future. Suppose you are taking a decision. The impact of the decisions is going to come after 10 years or 15 years. So can you predict what is exactly going to happen after 5 or 10 years? That needs reflection. Reflection means your third eye. In our goddesses, there is third eye in the forehead. That means foresightedness. That is your reflection. Problem solving ability is to some extent related to your moderate level of learning. That means when you can apply some knowledge in a meaningful way to solve any problem. But this is one thing. Most important thing of problem solving is understanding the problem, understanding the intensity of the problem, and your attitudes toward the problem. Generally, we often say that there is problem, but there is no problem in the world. Problem is how we look into the problem. There is a problem. So developing proper positive attitude towards problem solving ability and stability to observe. We all have sense organ, but how many of us have the sensory acuity? That means you have eyes, but can you observe? Can you notice? This is more important. So, Aurobindo told education is training of our sense organ. So when we have highest level of perception, we perceive through our sense organ. Okay, and on the basis of our perception, our conception build up. So if your sense organ is blunt, you cannot go deep into the process. Understand? So problem solving is also related with that. Okay, so reflective level of thinking, problem solving, critical thinking, and other. I think I have given you the answer. Creative thinking. And another is creative thinking. Creative thinking is, as I say, that the ability to synthesize. So when I can relate Bhagavad Gita with neuroscience, Bhagavad Gita with management, Bhagavad Gita with counseling, Bhagavad Gita with mental health. That means philosophy with psychology, philosophy with management. That is my creative explorations. So there are two phases of creativity. One is creative process and creative product. So most important is creative process. Second important is creative product. Why? Because to make your process or product, you have to be self-disciplined and very much meticulous about that process to make it a product. I may think many things emotionally, but when I am writing a poem, I have to sit, think in a disciplined manner, then we can make a piece of poetry that is a product of creativity. So these are much more needed today in the age of AI. The originality, the ability to elaborate on any ideas, these are most important skills today. Understood? I hope I can I give your answer, and I hope you are satisfied.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the nice explanation. And as you highlighted about the process is more important than the product. And in this context, when a teacher is teaching any particular content inside the classroom teaching learning process, he or she should not only focus about the learning outcome of the content area, rather he should focus about the process of the transaction, so that it automatically, after completion of the teaching learning process, it reflects the reflective thinking, creative thinking, critical thinking, not only in the minds of the students, but also faculty members. That's all. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice presentation.
And I am just concluding. So you are rightly saying that when we are not focusing on process, we are focusing on product. Means when a child is in a school, he is thinking about the percentage, and he is repeating, and he is memorizing, and he is just committing on the paper. It's like you are running on a treadmill. You are sweating, you are doing many things, but you are not going forward. So Gita में भी यही बोला गया है, focus on the process. If you focus on the process, the product will be more than your expectations. If I internally motivated and enjoy the process of learning, then my job, my profession, everything is going to be secure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone present here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed keynote speakers, sir. Your valuable insights, depth of knowledge, and thought-provoking ideas have truly enriched the session and provided us with a new perspective of the subject. Your words have not only enhanced our understanding, but also motivated us to reflect, learn, and grow further. We are deeply grateful for your precious time, in spite of your busy schedules. You have given the time to us. Your presence has undoubtedly added great value to this program. Once again, I thank you very much for your inspiring keynote address. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deepati, for inviting me and giving me opportunity to share my views to all the eminent peoples and our dear students. Thank you. Thank you, Allah. I wish the success of your efforts. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request to invite Professor Vimal Kumar Swani as a distinguished academician and a respected scholar in the field of education. Sir, may I request to kindly deliver your keynote address, please, sir.
Namaskar. Very good afternoon, everybody. Esteemed Regional Director of Education, Barampur, the dynamic leader, the sincere academician who is heading the Regional Director of Education, Barampur, esteemed Principal of this prestigious institution, Dr. Mohanty, with the product of IIT, and my younger brother, another dynamic academician, Professor Manoj Kumar Pradhan, my younger brother, the principal of PPISC Barampur, my younger brother, Professor Sambit Kumar Padi, head of the Department of Education, Guru Ghasidas Central University, another younger brother and my friend Dr. Devendra Kumar Sindhi, two young friends who are sitting in front of me, Dr. Dilip Kumar Puntia and Dr. Digal from Ramadevi Women's University, other esteemed colleagues of this prestigious institution, and my beloved students. Friends, it is a great pleasure to be invited to this prestigious institution to share some of my views on the topic artificial intelligence in teacher education for 21st century classroom. एकविंश मु ओडिया और इंग्लिश रे मिसेई कहबी केमते पिला माने बुझिबे आ मते मते प्रश्न करि परिबे आज जो टॉपिक मु डिस्कशन करबा को तमान सहित जाउची artificial intelligence in teacher education for 21st century class. Teacher education is in crossroads and we are living in the age of artificial intelligence. How can we integrate artificial intelligence, particularly in teacher education program? Let me start with a quotation given by famous poet, Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. He said that a teacher can never teach unless he learns himself. A lamp can never light another lamp unless it burns its own flame. जदि जड़े भल शिक्षक होबाकू चाहते से शिक्षक जड़े लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्नर होबा जेमति गोटिए दीप अन्य दीप को जळैबाकू हेले से निजे प्रथमे जळैबाकू पड़िबो. So whenever we are talking of a good teacher should always be a lifelong learner. आमे जेतबळे गुड टीचर कथा कहबा क्वालिटी ऑफ टीचर्स कथा कहूची प्रोफेसर एसपी आडावाला लिखिले ब्यूटीफुल बुक क्वालिटी ऑफ टीचर्स. वर्तमान यूनेस्को in 2021 has published a document status of teacher education in India jar title होची no teacher no class. 2021 मसीहा the book has been published from real slide in the country. So no teacher no class. आमे जदि भल क्वालिटी whenever we are talking of quality education we need good teachers. Who is a good teacher? Rabindranath Tagore को definition को जावे analysis करिबा a teacher can never teach unless he is learning himself. A lamp can never light another lamp unless it burns. Whenever we are talking of 21st century classroom, my topic is role of artificial intelligence in teacher education for 21st century classroom. We are not talking of the traditional classroom. We are not talking of the traditional teachers. You are the brilliant student teachers who are sitting over here. So we are preparing the teachers who will meet the needs of 21st century classroom. एकविंश शताब्दीर पिला एकविंश शताब्दीर टीचर और सेमाने they will meet the needs of 21st century students. तेणु आमे जो 21st century teachers कथा कहूची से teachers माने there must be acquainted how to integrate artificial intelligence in the teacher education program. Teacher education program रे how they can link artificial intelligence, integrate artificial intelligence in teacher education. First slide देखो. First slide. The integration of artificial intelligence in teacher education is set to change or at least challenge the traditional pedagogical practices. So we are adopting the traditional pedagogical practices, and whenever we want to change the traditional pedagogical practices, there is need of integrating artificial intelligence in teacher education program so that these are the ways so that we can prepare the teacher to teach in an increasing technological world. We are sending the letters. आमे जेतबळे पाठ पढुथुना आमे चिट्ठी लिखुथु ए सार माने जे बसचन स्टेज रे सामना जो माने बसचन आमे जेतबळे पढुथुलु वी आर सेंडिंग लेटर्स. मु चंडीगढ़ रे पढुथली बापा के पाखु आई वाज सेंडिंग लेटर्स टू माय पेरेंट्स एंड एक्सपेक्ट द लेटर्स आफ्टर गैप ऑफ 15 डेज. 15 दिन परे आमे चिट्ठी रो उत्तर एक्सपेक्ट करथु. एंड व्हेनेवर वी आर कॉलिंग देयर आर नो प्रोविजन ऑफ मोबाइल फोन्स. वी आर यूजिंग द लैंड फोन्स एंड लैंड फोन रे कथावार्ता होबा गोटिए मिनिट की 40 टका दिन रे मने भाबी पाउछ गोटिए मिनिट की दिन रे जदी कथा को चाहूतिले इट वाज कॉस्टिंग अराउंड 40 रुपीस पर मिनिट
Vartaman student for continuous, if you read particular some of the students, number in PG, number in PG, number in regions. We are all affected with the regions. We all know the regions. So the integration of artificial intelligence into secure education program is said to change the particular pedagogical approaches and prepare the teachers to teach in an increasing technological world. And with technological world, we are preparing the 21st century teachers. So there is always need of linking artificial intelligence to teacher education. Next slide. Artificial intelligence in teacher education aims to enhance the pedagogical skills of the teacher. Artificial intelligence use classroom teacher education program, it will enhance the pedagogical skills of the teacher. Teacher how they can integrate particularly artificial intelligence in the teacher education program, personalized learning, and automate administrative staff rather than replace it. We cannot replace the educators. Honestly, artificial intelligence teacher educator to replace karipariko nai. Artificial intelligence will help particularly teachers to carry out their tasks successfully. So artificial intelligence acts as a feedback assistant for lesson planning. So student teacher mane, but teacher educator mane, but teachers mane, artificial intelligence, they can use artificial intelligence while they are planning for the lessons, for designing the curriculum, and preparing the teachers for the pre-service exam and also writing the report. So whenever we are talking of teacher education program, these are the areas we can integrate artificial intelligence in the teacher education program. Next slide. Artificial intelligence has the potential to address some of the biggest challenges. There are many challenges in education. So how we can address those challenges by integrating artificial intelligence teaching learning process? We can innovate the teaching learning practices and accelerate the progress towards sustainable development goals. What are the sustainable? We know the 17 sustainable development goals of the United Nations, and fourth goal is very important for all of us. Fourth goal that what is it talks of quality education. Quality is something which satisfies the needs of the customers. Who are the customers here? So the primary customers are our students. So are we able to meet the needs of the customers? Jodi ame sustainable goal achieve କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ goal number 4 जोटा quality education କଥା କହୁଛି, there is always need of integrating artificial intelligence in teaching learning process. This promise for AI for all. समस्तों को artificial intelligence.
Incoming voice call from Nisha. Incoming voice call.
And access if we want innovation in the teaching learning process, if we want to gather information, if we want to develop knowledge, there is always need of integrating AI, particularly in the teaching learning. Next slide. UNESCO says that mandate calls for increasing for human-centered approach to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence को केवल हमें depend करिवा नहीं, सेथिरे human touch हमें दो. We can integrate artificial intelligence in the classroom situation. We can integrate artificial intelligence in the teaching learning process, in the lesson planning, in feedback, in professional development program. Or this would be a human-centered approach. It aims to set the conversation to include AI's role in address inequalities regarding access to knowledge, research and diverse cultural. केवल lesson planning रे हमें यूज करिबानी, feedback रे यूज करिबानी. Artificial intelligence can be used in giving feedback to the students, in conducting research, in planning lessons, and also designing the instruction. Next slide. But national education policy talks of artificial intelligence in teacher education program. NEP suggests for the establishment of a national educational technology forum to promote the use of technology in education. If we want to properly use technology in education, we are in need of establishment of a national educational technology forum. Integration of technology is the point one. What the policy says, the policy says that NEP 20 advocates for integration of technology in all levels of education, starting from the primary level up to the higher education level. We can integrate AI, artificial intelligence, all levels of education, and AI can support the creation of robust teacher training programs that address diverse educational needs across India. Our director sir madhya कहउथिले, our padi sir madhya कहउथिले, how we can integrate particularly artificial intelligence in teacher education program. हमें जदि कहउछे टीचर एजुकेशन को सुंदर भाबरे हमें successfully implement କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ throughout the country. There is need of creation of robust teacher education program. There is need of integration of AI in the teacher education program. Next slide. This second point also emphasizes integrating particularly AI in teacher education institutions. It emphasizes about equity and inclusion. AI can bridge the gap in teacher education program. Teacher education program में जो gap रहुଛି, facilities in rural area, facilities in urban area, how we can integrate particularly AI in bridging the gap, that is also very important. Artificial intelligence can also be used in assessment, learning assessment, formative and competence-based assessment, giving feedback and enhance the teacher preparedness. So these are the areas where teacher education program, artificial intelligence can be integrated. Next slide. Key aspects of AI in teacher education program. Four areas में teacher education में integrate करके number one is artificial intelligence literacy and training. Next slide, please. Giving feedback as using artificial intelligence as a formative tools, using ChatGPT, ethical and technical competence training focuses on recognizing artificial intelligence by data privacy and habitat information. So these are the areas where we can use artificial intelligence. Personalization and support and addressing resistance. AI is designed to help teachers manage workload more effectively. So the workload को हमें effectively use करने को चाहूँ. जो पिला माने बच्चों future teachers अपन माने वर्तमान स्कूल को वाले smart board रखना. Artificial intelligence use करें. So artificial intelligence can be used by the teachers who reduce their workload. Next time जो slide में देखो we are talking of achieving the goals of Viksit Bharat by 2047. भारत का गोटे विकसित राष्ट्र by 2047 and Odisha will be a developed state by 2036. So what are the areas in which we can integrate artificial intelligence to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat? Our Viksit Bharat କଥା ତଳେ କହୁଛେ ସେଥିରେ जो चारिटा major focus area ଅଛି गोटे major focus area ହେଉଛି ଆମର so ଆମେ କେମିତି how can we integrate artificial intelligence to achieve the goal of Viksit Bharat, improving the access to quality. ମୁଁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି quality assurance, total quality management. These are the terms which are generally particularly in industrial sectors, and from industrial sectors we switch over to education sector. Whenever we want to achieve the goal of quality education, there is need of integration of artificial intelligence. Promoting innovation, for promotion of innovation, there is need of artificial intelligence. Strengthening national competitiveness and fostering sustainability. So these are the major areas we need to focus and integrate artificial intelligence for achieving the goal of Viksit Bharat. Next. These are the challenges. Artificial intelligence रा हमारा बहुत negative characteristic और negative quality है. आप लोगों ने देखुतिबे पेपर में मध्य पढ़ुछे न्यूज़ पेपर में मध्य देखुतिबे. There are many demerits in particular artificial intelligence. Digital divide. सब जगह internet connection नहीं. We cannot use artificial intelligence for all the classes. Data privacy is a major problem. Resistance to change. Okay. ठीक है सिगलानी को सारी के मिनट भीतर there is cost of implementation. Next देखा तो. These are the major recommendations को बेसिक किसी कहूँ. There is need of policy support, capacity building of all the stakeholders. Which is stakeholder? A stakeholder is a person who directly or indirectly benefits from the system. So there is need of particularly developing the capacity building of teachers. There is need of PPP, public-private partnership, and there is need of investment in research and development. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, and really thankful to the principal, the dynamic leader of this prestigious institution, my younger brother, who has invited me to speak a few words about integration of AI in teacher education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and inspiring remarks. To express our sincere gratitude to our all distinguished guests, we shall now proceed with the facilitation ceremony. May I request the organizing committee to kindly come forward. I request the organizing committee to kindly come forward. request to organizing committee to facilitate chief guest Dr. Narayan Mehra, regional director, Varpu. I requested to chief guest Dr. Narayan Mehra, regional director, to felicitate our principal Deepak Kumar Mohanty. I request to Dr. Narayan sir to felicitate our Professor Sandesh sir. Again, I also requested to I request to Dr. Narayan sir to felicitate the Professor Bimal sir. I request our chief guest Dr. Narayan Mehra, regional director, to felicitate Professor Manoj Kumar Pala. I also requested Dr. Narayan Mehra, regional director, sir, to felicitate Professor Devendra Kumar Shetty. Thank you, sir. Again, I requested to sir, Dr. Narayan Vera sir, to felicit our best honorable principal, Dr. Deepak Kumar Mathi. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we will continue our keynote artist session. Our next keynote speaker, Professor Manoj Kumar, an eminent scholar and educationalist. I request you kindly recognize your keynote artist. Please welcome, sir.
Respected Regional Director of Education, Govt, respected Principal of this great teacher training institution, Dr. Mohanty, respected former Principal, DPSC Govt and KCD Bhanjanagar, Professor Smile, respected professor and former principal of City Koraput, Professor Devendra Kumar Sethi sir, respected coordinators, conveners, other dignitaries like Principal, KSU City Bhanjanagar, Dr. Dilip sir, respected faculty, Ashok Kumar Digal sir from Ramadevi Women's University Bhubaneswar, respected Vikram sir, respected Sushant sir, respected Sagamner sir, respected Vichitra sir, respected Venkata sir, respected other dignitaries, Subrat sir and others, dear students who are present in the meeting, in this seminar. At the outset, let me congratulate the organizers, mostly students who have toiled a lot for making this seminar very effective, fruitful and colorful. And I am especially learned that, observed that many handmade things are being provided in this seminar, like your gift given to the kids. The designs you have made for this seminar, very astonishing. I appreciate your art, who have guided you. So, without wasting any time, let us now talk something about the information abundance. This is an age of information, mass information. In a twinkle of eye, information travels from this side of the world to the other side of the world. And in this information abundance age, there is a chance of being misinformed also. There are many chances of being misinformed. So being misinformation are also coming in a very large way. How? You see, when I passed my matriculation, my father just applied, brought a form for me to read in FM College Baleshwar. But he forget केतेबेले तो लास्ट डेट अछि जानिबा को पाइले नै केई कोइ पाइले ना को जो दिन से लास्ट डेट दिन माने आश्चर्य पकिया पे से से कोन डेट पळले 5 टा इने कॉलेज बंद हे रे से बाहर फोपड़ दे पळले सरकार से जो जोडी पळे से माने एक्सेप्ट करले नै सो आई वाज नॉट एबल टू गेट ए सीट जदि मोर बहुत भलो मार्क देला आई हैव फर्स्ट क्लास लेवल से तोळे किंतु मु पाइल नै तापरे अवश्य मु ट्रांसफरिंग एसोसिएटली अन्य कॉलेज रो बट एट द टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन सा कोतले रेस्पेक्टेड आर्टिस्ट सा कोतले वेरी लेस इंफॉर्मेशन वी वर स्टडीिंग विथ द लाइब्रेरी वाज आवर इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर रिसोर्स सेंटर टीचर्स वर sources at the time there was information but very less misinformation nowadays information are very large at the same time there are misinformation amaro distributed mass media also one example dou ମୁଁ କେବେଠୁ ଶୁଣୁଛି ଆମ ଭାରତୀୟ ମିଡିଆ ଜେନେରାଲି ତବେ କମ୍ପାରିଜନ କରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ଚାଲିଥିବ ଦେଖିବ କାର୍ଗିଲ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ସମୟରେ ଦେଖୁଥିବି ତାପରେ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ବି ହେଲା ଏଟ ଦ ଟାଇମ୍ ପାକିସ୍ତାନ ଟିଭି କହୁଥିବ ଆମେ ପୁରା ଯୋଉ ଅପରେସନ ବିଜୟ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଏବେ ହେଲା ଯୋଉ ସିନ୍ଧୁ ହଁ ସିନ୍ଧୁ ହେଲା ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର କହୁଛନ୍ତି କଣ ଆମେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆକୁ ପୁରା ମାର୍କ କରିଦେଲୁ ଭାରତ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ଫୁଟରେ ଅଛି इंडिया रे तो चल खुल दो पाकिस्तान वर्तमान भिक्षा माइबा को जाउची पाकिस्तान खाल धरी बुलिलाणी चाइना करे आंठू मारी बसिची ओटा किलो 500 टका तमे कोन खाइबो दोछ ना हैं वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग द वे दे प्रेजेंट द थिंग इट अट्रैक्ट्स द पीपल देखो न्यूज रे देखो सब बढ़िया बढ़िया ହେଲା କି मुख्यमंत्री एमिति कोन कहि देले जे समस्त आखि खुशी हेगा एटा कोन देख डॉक्टर दिखाइबो सुस्ते मार जाइबो आस्ते दिन दिखाइबो ହେଲା तामे किछि न दियो न्यूज रे बोली देखिबे ए किछि न दियो किंतु दी वे दे आर प्रेजेंटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन इट क्रिएट्स एन इंटरेस्ट इन द रीडर्स Actually, I found that angle to जानियो पहले जे yes, this is the real pedagogy. Well, how they are just supplying the information. The what aspect is content. What is content and what पढ़ेगा? How to teach pedagogy. How to supply the information. You should learn from this mass media, TV channel सुनिए. है कि भांगी गला भरो आउ नहांती से ये अमिताभ बच्चन बोलछथि आउ नहांती अमिताभ बच्चन मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन से केते लोग मोरी नै त मो मार दिसले केते लोग पढिबे सब तेणु वर्तमान जति चलछि ये ईरान जो मध्य प्राच्य युद्ध चलछि ध्वंस हे गला ईरान सत्ता 2 दिन भीतर शेष हे वो 2 दिन वेट कली किछि शेष हे ता पर वाला अमेरिका वर्तमान भय व्हाट आर दिस वे माने जंगल और blessed with this jungle of information तो इतने बड़ा information टीचर affect हुआ not only the teacher education other fields में जा चुका है but what is true ये केते लोग कहि कि निज जिनिस को बिक्री करि परिबो निज कथा को सेल करि परिबो मार्केट दैट वेरी इंपोर्टेंट गोटे छोट सर फिलोसफी लोक नारायण सर हम रेस्पेक्टेड आदि सर गोटे तार अछि जने लोक जने बड़ व्यवसायी 1200 जन बड़ व्यवसायी ताकर गोटे चाकर थाए से तो 2 किलो मांस आने दे तापरे मांस को दे गले रुसे करे चाकर को करे रुसे करते मु आसु खाई संध्या बेल हला कि से रुसे करला संध्या सुधा से अपेक्षा करि परंता एते माने जो टेस्टी जो स्मेल आसिला द अरोमा ऑफ द मीट तब एते माने अफेक्ट करले से 2 किलो एक मांस लोहा संभाल कर खाई दिला त मालिक में किछ रखला नहीं मालिक संध्या पहुंचले कोन करे रुसे करके ना ये सो जान खाइबा लागे नहीं तो नाही माने मांस दे दे 2 किलो म दे दे जे मु से कर देथि किंतु आपण घर से बिलेईटा खाई दी छिला बिलेई मांस खाई दी छी हो से बिलेई का लो बिलेई रो ओजन छे 2 किलो बोले आकु तागो में मापी तो 2 किलो अच्छा बिलेई केते मांस देना सब खाई दी कि हो उडा तोरा दिटा बिलेई को मापिले ते 2 किलो आला अरे मांस जो खाई छी तब तो 4 किलो हो कथा যদি ইয়ে হচ্ছে মাংস কারণ বিলেই কে তো ইয়ে হচ্ছে বিলেই কো মাংস না এইটা তো খাই দিই তা 2 কিলো তা কালি ভাবি যদি ইয়ে কইছে বিলেই তার মাংস তো গলা করে যদি ইয়ে কইছে মাংস তা বিলেই কাহি বর্তমান এটা বড় ইসিতে ফিলোসফিক্যাল কমপ্লেক্সিটি এই जो हमें न्यूज जो इंफॉर्मेशन रो abundance भितरे जंगल भितरे we are now perplexed jumbled तेणु यही सब चलती let us talk about the what इस साहस की बढ़िया कथा बोलला हमरो अरे जो हमरो साहस you have to look into the inner self of yourself ताकि से माने क्रिएटिवली केते दिन से जोड़िले मते बहुत भल लागला you have to see discern into your own self से सेल्फ भी कोई दबो what is true what is bad कोउटा सत्य कोउटा मिछ वर्तमान तो न्यूज फ्यूज चलछि वर्तमान ए जो न्यूज दुनिया रे वर्तमान में होजी है न्यूज इंफॉर्मेशन गोदा इंफॉर्मेशन आछि देयर इज एन एक्सप्लोजन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन आउ इन न्यूक्लियर एक्सप्लोजन पर असला कोन इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सप्लोजन रे होगा एथे में केमिति हाउ कैन वी प्रोटेक्ट आवर चिल्ड्रन प्रोटेक्ट आवरसेल्फ फ्रॉम दिस मिस इंफॉर्मेशन चाहे मिस इंफॉर्मेशन रे एवं मिस इंफॉर्मेशन को फायदा नहीं की बट सोशल मीडिया रे देयर इज चेंज इन द गवर्नमेंट चेंज हो जाउची देयर इज चेंज इन द पर्सनालिटी ऑफ ए पर्सन पूरे पर्सनालिटी को एमिति कर दिया होची सब रकम कर दिए परिबो बहुत दिन से करू एफएम कॉलेज रे किए मल्ला से छात्री जो पढ़ी मल्ला का केमिति अरेस्ट करा गला हम प्रिंसिपल अरेस्ट हो गले मी इंफॉर्मेशन मिस इंफॉर्मेशन सब पहुंच गला से तो से भीतर को जाओ नहीं क्रिटिकल इशू वर्तमान ताम के राजनीति बसे होची तो ये भीतर हम उद्धार पाइबे कि हेले we are going to हमको अपन माने समझ पिला को प्रोफेसर जे तो हमरो एज हे गलानी एक्सपीरियंस हे गलानी सेही पई हमर टीचर पब्लिकेशन करले गवर्नमेंट प्रमोशन देउची प्रोफेसर ये प्रोफेसर मान करो प्रोफेसर should practice what they profess but we do not practice what you say we do not profess हम सोडा प्रोफेस करनु निज लाइफ रे जे करी देखौनु we do not practice what you profess so we are called the so-called professors आपण माने सब हमर सब आपण सार माने सब असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर होइछथि आ कि दिन एसोसिएट हे जिवे तापर प्रोफेसर हे जिवे कि प्रोफेसर मिनिंग जोटा कि आचार्य कह जाउतरा भारत वर्ष थिला आचार्य ना आचरण नु ताकर आचार्य से आचरण कर देखौतले they were teaching what they were professing what they were teaching तो दीटा इसके सामंजस्य रहउला कोई गल अर्थ हला आमे खाली ना को प्रोफेसर हमरो बिहेवियर किछ नै हमको देखि के उद्बुद्ध होबार नै हमको देखि के इग्नाइटेड होबार नै ए सब जिनिसटा आउ मिछो एते मात्रे कहा जाउची वैल्यूज पूरा भी पड़े जाई वैल्यूज क्राइसिस पूरा आरंभ हो जाई ए जो इंफॉर्मेशन पाई इंफॉर्मेशन अथिला बहुत भलो दिला बहुत जिंस एबे इंफॉर्मेशन आसीला पर एबंडेंस पाई ता नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट बहुत स्पेशली कोन सत कोन मिछ हम जानि पाऊ तेणु हम जेमि जे सतटा सबले सत आ भीतर के मिछ लाई डिटेक्टर गुडे जान नै अपराधी में लाई डिटेक्टर टेस्ट करा जाए मिछ गोत्र सत काई से काम करे देखो तुम मिछ कहियो देखो तुम से तोले एट द टाइम योर ब्लड प्रेशर विल बी हाई ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ी जिवे तोले ता इंडिकेट करियो मशीन रे ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ला आ सत कहउछ मतलब ब्लड प्रेशर नॉर्मली करे एटा होची हमर भीतर आमे मिछ कहउछ भीतर हमर जो आत्माटा अछि भीतर जो सेंस अछि इनर सेंस सी जानि करू आमे कोन कहू तेणु आमे जेते फुटाणी मारे जा करे काली मते सबलपुर डाकले स्पीकर कर दिबो 2:45 सेकंड ने जे आछनी कहू 10 मिनिट 20 मिनिट 25 मिनिट कह जाले मोर शेष बुझल मो पे आ समय 2:50 किए पिला कहीं ना मात्र 2-3 जन जे ताकर बच्चों पिला स्कूटी खाइयो गलनी मुसेली कहली ताको एग्जांपल देली हैला कि मु कहली मु 2 मिनिट साथ देली किंतु मु 1 मिनिट साथ देली मोर हैला कि मु कहली गोटे स्पीच के ऊपर जणे लोक समस्त बसथिले किंतु 5 मिनिट पर समस्त उठी पड़े किंतु गोटे बुढ़ी लोकटा से बसी होई कोनरे ये स्पीकर स्पीच होची सेटा देखछ ये स्पीकर खुशी हो जाओ तो जणे लोक सुनछ ना जणे से बुढ़ी माउता सुनछि बुढ़िया के लोह होई जाछ ये स्पीकर से इग्नाइट अरे मु इते बड़े स्पीकर जणे तो काम कर दे उदय तो कुछ बोल तापर लास्ट को कहले बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद यही नसले जणे सुनछि गोटे मुग्ध श्रोता बहुत बहुत आपन प्रणाम करू तो बापा ना से कथा नहे कोन कथा ना मोर गोटे छेली दिला हमर दाढ़ी अछि ना तार दाढ़ी भी से ये मासे को बोली जाई এবং তোমার গাড়ি করে যে তাকো সেই ছেড়ি গাড়ি করে আমার মনে পড়ে গলা এবং তাকু দেখি ছেড়ি করা চিন্তা করে তম কথা শুনতে দেখি মনে পড়ে গলা সিমিলারিটি তেণু মু তাকু দেখি মনে পড়ে কান্দ লাগলো মতে এটা কইবার অর্থ কিয়ে শুনো না শুনো আমি কই যাই ইয়ে ইনফরমেশন মানে কোন যে কোনছি নিউজ চ্যানেল খুল দব মুড খারাপ হই যাবে কি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ সব আসছে বর্তমান হোয়াট আর দ্য ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজেস লাইক সফটওয়্যার হয়ে গলা ইয়া লাইক আশ্চর্যজনক ভাবে অন্তর্ধান হয়ে গেলে দেখো তো আমাদের কিছু নিবিদ কি কোন সব দিস ইজ দি supply of the way they were providing the better information. Okay? Then, मो बापा फॉर्म पकेले मिस माने इंफॉर्मेशन लेस पे मो को बर्तमान इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत अछि हैला कि ताको कोइ फॉर्म पका ये कर किंतु से पूरा ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस पे अप्लाई करे बेलको मु ताको पुरा लैपटॉप दे कोला ए लैपटॉप रे हो नै ये कोन आउट सॉफ्टवेयर तो वी नीड अनदर सॉफ्टवेयर कोन कोन दुआ सॉफ्टवेयर तो पुरा लैपटॉप व्हाट इज दिस you know SBI यूज करते बहुत पिला जानुए you know दा 4G आउ चललानी प्राय वर्ष तळ 3 वर्ष तळ 4G हटा दिले बंद हे गला मोर 4G दिले बचाली छी आउ चली बने ये कोन माने इन्फॉर्मेशन आळे इंग्लैंड रे 4G चलची you know चलची इंडिया रे चली बने यूएस रे चलची 4G रे इंडिया रे चली बने व्हाट इज दिस you are being exploited ইনডাইরেক্টলি এই শব্দ ন পকেলে তোমার হবনি ইয়া পছরে হচ্ছে বিরাট ষড়যন্ত্র তুমি নূয়া 5G ফোন কিনিବାକୁ বাধ্য যদি তুমি 4G ର ସ୍ପିଡ୍ ର 5G ର ବେଶୀ ସ୍ପିଡ୍ ନାହିଁ କାଟବ ବରଂ ବେଳେ କମ ତେଣୁ ଇଏ ଯୋଉ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଚାଲିଛି ସମୟ in this age of mass information, in this age of information explosion, there is every chance of being misinformed, and these are pervading, these are spreading to our classrooms, to our students. They are also affected by this. And the time has come. The teacher has to empower the students to recognize what is virtuous and what is vice, what is virtue and what is vice. Okay? So, ସେଇ ପାଇଁ ଚାଇନାରେ ଆଉ ବେଶୀ ଭଲ ଥେସିସ୍ ଯୋଉ ମୋଟା ମୋଟା ଲେଖି ଦଉଛ ଆଉ ନାହିଁ ମୋଟା ଥେସିସ୍ ନ ଲେଖିଲେ ବି କହି ଦିଆଯାଇଛି ଥେସିସ୍ ଲେଖିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ଇନଭେନ୍ସନ କରିଦିଅ ତମେ PhD will be awarded ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ଇନଭେନ୍ସନ ହଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇନଭେନ୍ସନ ୟାକୁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଇନଭେନ୍ସନ ହଉ ଡିସ୍କଭରି ଯାହା କିଛି କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ନହେଲେ ହବ ଆଉ ଏ ଥେସିସ୍ ମୋଟା ମୋଟା ଚଳିବ ନାହିଁ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ନାହିଁ ତେଣୁ ଆସିଗଲେ କିଛି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ପତ୍ର ରେସ୍ପେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ସାର୍ ପ୍ଲିଜ୍ କନକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଆଉ କହିବାର ବଡ଼ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ମୋତେ ଏଠି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଜାଣିଛ ମୁଁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଏଠି ଥିଲି ସମସ୍ତ ପିଲା ବି ଏଡମିସନରେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ତମମାନଙ୍କର ତାଳି ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ପଡ଼ିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିଦେଲି ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଭଲ ପାଇବା ମୋ ପ୍ରତି କେତେ ଅଛି ଏବଂ ତମକୁ ଦେଖିବା ଛାଡ଼ି ଦିଅ ଆଉ ମୁଁ ରହିପାରିବି ସେଠି ଛାଡ଼ି ଦିଅ ମତରେ ଚାଲିଛି ବିରାଟ ଧରଣୀର ପଥରେ ଅସୀମର କେନ୍ଦ୍ରରୁ ଆସିଛି ମୁଁ ଖସିରେ ମତେ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁନାହିଁ ଏଠି ବସିରେ ପାରିବିନି କାହାରେ ମୁଁ ଛାଡ଼ିତ ସଭିଏ ମୋ ଜୀବନ ନାଡ଼ିତ ସବୁରି ଓଠରେ ମୋ ଆଶାରେ ସବୁରି ବୁକୁରେ ମୋ ଆଶାରେ ଛାଡ଼ି ଦିଅ ମତରେ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insight. Now I invite our final keynote speaker for this session, Professor Devendra Kumar Sethi. I request you kindly at this podium. Please welcome, sir.
keynote speaker, respected Adi Parampur, respected Principal Kalinga, respected Principal Manoj Babu, EPSC Parampur, and your honorable Principal of this institute. My colleague Babu and my dear faculty members, and sitting in front of the dais, Principal KSU Kalinga, the Govt, dear students and friends. When I got the call from someone regarding invitation to join in the seminar, I have wondered whether I will join or not. Many times, to ask the call, I requested and invited me to visit my institutions, but due to lack of time and busy schedule, I am unable to visit your institutions. This is the actually God gift, I can say that. Without blessing of God, we are not here. Everybody should accept this. We are here because of blessing of God. We are coming from different backgrounds, different persons. It is called as a mini Odisha. So, thank the Lord for the presence of this seminar. And again, I have been modelled from 2 days back the topic related to the topic. The topic is not related to any context. We are the teachers. We know the pedagogy. Then another one, the idea the power added that everybody knows that what is pedagogy or what is andragogy or how to teach or what content is there, in grade process, everything is there. You know that.
The topic, when I read pedagogy in an age of information abundance, teaching for understanding. तापर मुझे पता नहीं कि कौन अब्रांड्स कौन ये कौन मीनिंग कौन अंडरस्टैंडिंग कौन ये कौन भीतर अच्छी कौन बदल कौन अच्छी मुझे भीतर पता नहीं काली रात को तो वो दिखा पड़ता तो स्वीकार नहीं कौन सा कौन ये कौन जाने से कौन and we have attended more than 2000 seminars in NEP 2020 Vikas Bharat Purana everything but the completely different. Is it important? For my child? Is it really fruitful for the teachers? Is it fruitful or meaningful for the teachers? Respective teachers? We are coming, my friend has already told that his father coming to FM college for admission and applied for the parents already passed. So this is the background. This is the time. Now I am asking one question to you, my dear friends. Are you interested to learn? Listen. Yes or no? Yes. I think some of the girls said yes, some of the boys are busy in their When someone is, my friend is presenting, I am
searching some messages. I am involved in Facebook. I am downloading some photos and uploading some photographs in my Instagram or Facebook, so that immediately I can get some feedback. What my lovers, my followers are like this, 100, 200, 300, 700. This is the we are technologically very strong. Mobile ଯଦି ଖୋଲିବି ମୁଁ 2 ଦିନ ତଳେ ମୋର ମେସେଜ ପୁରା ଜାମ୍ ଫଟୋ ଅପଲୋଡ ହେଇପାରୁନି ଫଟୋ ତାର ଷ୍ଟୋରେଜ ଫୁଲ୍ ଆରେ 5G ମୋବାଇଲ ଏବେ କିଣିଲି 32 GB how it is already full. I'm asking my blog, can you recognize? So, immediately within a fraction he delete some photograph and love photos. Then my cell phone is working. This is the digital age. This is the digital age. This is the college your I already AI has any big AI or a database or anything. Every time we have some upgraded information. According to we have to upgrade ours. Without upgradations, your mobile is not working. Without upgradation of teachers, mind is not working. Because I am coming from head to face. Before pandemic, 2019, we think that our survival is very low. Cross. So many people have to die. So many things are coming. So many new inventions are generated. New inventions. Now we are getting the benefits. We are getting the benefits. Blended learning, online learning, room meeting, everything was going in a different. If society itself, we accept the changes, we the teachers are not accepting some of the things. We are coming to the pedagogy, which is more important for the teachers, particularly teacher education institutions. What pedagogy is? Only the methods. How to teach. We know that pedagogy is a very critical term. It is the umbrella of all terms. All means how to teach, how to get feedback, how to prepare questions, how to prepare applications. Everything is there. The techniques must be with the teachers. Already we have got 2 inputs in B.Ed course. Already today morning, my friend has told that some of the projects are not properly implemented their internship program. Internship program is a part and parcel of the education program. Without internship, that is theory is incomplete. Without we have the theory classes. We have the B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, every subject, content mapping, we have the content mapping is there. On the basis of your content, we are selecting, we are giving the method subject or your pedagogy subjects, or your pedagogy teachers are there. But what happens? The flow of knowledge, flow of information, flow of digital age, flow of everything is there. But we are unable to capture all this. We are unable. Our mindset is not there. Our mindset is to pass the message or interact with the student, with your friends, interact with your girlfriends, interact with your boyfriends, etc. Our intention is that. We have the 5G mobiles. We have the 5G mobiles, everybody has the Android mobile phones. In that mobile, everything is there. Facebook is there, ChatGPT is there, Google is there, Gemini is there. So many artificial intelligence are there. But we are not using in our academic purposes. We are using it in a negative side. We are always involved in more of the time Facebook, Instagram, and etc. etc. Till today, we are copying the 5 years later questions and answers. Your elder brother or someone is from your basement, he collects from material from any source and you copy it and match it and submit it for assignment. What is creativity? There is no creativity. There is no reflections. Nothing is there. No confidence of something everybody is there. We have the computers, we have the information, we have the talents, we have the everything within our minds. But we are all capable. कौन करेगा? इसको ऐसे कर दे तो काम चल जाएगा. साथ में है मार्क दे देंगे. मेरा टीचर है मुझे मार्क्स दे देंगे. बस हो गया. सर्टिफिकेट ले लेंगे. बस हो गया. फिर टीचर बन जाएंगे. बस टीचर बनने के बाद क्या पढ़ाना है? बस वही ट्रेडिशनल मेथड में वही ट्रेडिशनल जो है आपको उसमें पढ़ाना है. कुछ नया नहीं है. तो एक नया करना है. आपको करना क्या है? ये आपके हाथ में. आजकल के बच्चे जो है आपसे ज्यादा क्या आप 2 हाथ में चलाते हैं और 4 उंगली में चलाते हैं. फटाफट ऐसे. आजकल जो टीचर पढ़ाते हैं वो उनको समझ नहीं आता है क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं. पहले दिल्ली में उनका बेटा है वो क्लास 8, 6 और 5 में मैं स्कूल में जाऊँ. मुझे पढ़ना अच्छा नहीं लगता है. पढ़ के क्या बनना है? आप जैसे प्रोफेसर बनना है. मुझे प्रोफेसर बनना नहीं. मुझे चाहिए मर्सिडीज. मुझे चाहिए और जो इंटरनेशनल कंपनी का जो व्हीकल है उसका इंफॉर्मेशन देखिए, उसका पढ़ाई में नहीं ध्यान दी नहीं, लेकिन कहाँ क्या मशीन कौन सा गाड़ी में क्या बन रहा है, उसका हॉर्स पावर क्या है, कैसे उसका यूज करना है, एवरीथिंग इज क्लास है। तो हमारा बच्चा जो है, आजकल के बच्चे हैं, उनको थोड़ा देखिए, समझिए और पढ़ाई। जो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड में पढ़ा रहे हैं वो काम नहीं देगा। जो 4 पीढ़ी AI यूज कर रहे हैं उनके पास भी है, वो भी देख रहे हैं, मोबाइल उनके पास भी है, क्या है साहब कहाँ से कॉपी कर रहे हैं, कहाँ से पढ़ा रहे हैं, ये सब कौन सा सोर्स से इनपुट लाए हैं, उनके पास है। अगर आप अच्छे टीचर बनना चाहते हैं तो आप आपका जो है क्रिएटिविटी, रिफ्लेक्टिविटी, एवरीथिंग शुड बी so that we can change the mindset. जो एविडेंस की बात बोल रहे हैं, जो इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत सारे आप जो देख रहे हैं, अभी आपको पूछ रहा था कि आर यू गेटिंग बोर तो नहीं होंगे, बोर वगैरह वो तो होंगे। थोड़ा एक एक्सरसाइज में देना चाहता हूँ। Can you tell me 10 phone numbers from your relatives? Anybody can say? Can you remember or recall your 2 mobile phones number? I don't have. मुझे अगर पता नहीं जाएगा, मैं एक नंबर पता है, दूसरा नंबर we are depending on the visualizations. We are depending on totally the mobiles. Totally dependent. So we are the teachers in a crossroad. साइंस तक कहाँ जाए, पढ़ाया तक क्या पढ़ा है, कैसे पढ़ा है, कौन सा इनोवेटिव आइडिया यूज करें हम क्लास में। स्मार्ट बोर्ड है, स्मार्ट क्लासरूम में, एवरीथिंग इज इंटरनेट इज देयर, एवरीथिंग इज देयर। व्हाट तो साथ ही बोल रहे थे कि कुछ टीचर हमारे साथ साइंस बोल रहे थे, रिटायर्ड होने के बाद और ट्रांसफर होने के बाद बहुत सारे बच्चे होते हैं, सारा मौत है। बहुत सारे टीचर ऐसे ही है, गए तो कुछ बात नहीं हो। जैसे कि आपका प्रिंसिपल है बोनस था, तो तालियों का इतना बजा रहे थे, हमें पता चल रहा है कैसे आप कितना चाहते हैं। So, time is precious for us. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for Principal Govt. Thank you all the faculty members and honorable students for listening my keynote. Thank you so much.
For your valuable and inspiring words. Now, as we reach the conclusion of this inauguration session, I now invite Dr. Shadani Ma'am to propose the board of thanks. Please welcome sir.
Namaskar everybody. Respected chief guests, distinguished keynote speakers, esteemed colleagues, dear participants, my dear students. We could not have asked for a better topic in this present time. How beautifully this topic talks about the content and the process of Kalinga. The topic is loudly saying, enough of content now. Now let's make some meaning. So beautiful, and in this occasion of this beautiful seminar, on behalf of this organizing committee of this seminar, it is my great privilege to place the board of thanks. At the outset, I would profusely thank the chief guest of the occasion, Dr. Narayan Jain, Regional Director of Education, Toronto. He beautifully mentioned our method of teaching has to respond to the changing era. This message is very powerful. What we did in teacher education 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, may not work today. And it will certainly change tomorrow again. So, this is the central message of this seminar. And his message about the 5 C's of pedagogy is also going to be very helpful to our training. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Professor Bimal Charan Swami for describing teachers as lifelong learners and how teachers should embrace AI to be growing teachers, learning teachers. It's phenomenal to learn about AI from a professor who has retired. AI is a recent trend, and a retired teacher talking about AI a retired teacher, okay, a professor who has retired from active service now, talking about AI is a beautiful message for us learners, growing teachers and trainers. This should be the attitude of education fraternity. Next, I would like to thank our very dear who has beautified the campus before leaving to DPIASC as principal, our very good Professor talking about different era like less information than information abundant, and how things have to change responding to the information available in different era. It's not the information, it's the way we handle the information in different era. He beautifully talked about that. And dramatically he said, he established that it's the process, it's the delivery which is important, not the content. Because when there was no content, people were living, people were doing things perfectly. When it was age of information, again people were doing things perfectly. Even today, when it is age of information abundant, today also we are doing fine and tomorrow also it will be fine. What matters is delivery. Beautifully he established. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Sambit Kumar Parekh, who has already left, he is a very busy man, very busy professor. The way he talked about converting content to idea, to wisdom, to creativity, this is phenomenal. Every training, every teacher, every new professor like me, we should take note of it. How to convert content to idea, to wisdom, to creativity. This is a way which can help us survive in the age of information abundance. Otherwise, we will be left out. The wider meaning of pedagogy he presented is very much inspirational for all the teachers, all the students, all the trainees. We are extremely thankful to him. Thanks are due to Professor Rajesh Kumar Saha, who connected online. And so nicely he said, a teacher becomes redundant when he keeps focusing on content only. Because teaching learning procedure is not only about content, it's about content and the process of training. And he glorified the process of teaching, in fact, not the content. Extremely thankful to Professor Saha from RIT, Mysore. And then, of course, we would sincerely thank Professor Devendra Kumar Sethi for emphasizing changes in the society over time, how rapidly things are changing, how rapidly students' behavior have been changing. When in old time students used to focus on teachers teaching, now people are so much diverted, so much disturbed with their gadgets and all. And in this context, how learning should take place and how teacher educators should be behaving in this context. Specifically trainees and teachers, how they should be behaving in this age of information abundance. He made it very clear. Extremely thankful to you, sir. Many thanks to all the speakers for sharing their profound scholarship and valuable perspectives on contemporary pedagogical challenges. The ideas contributed here or put through by all these speakers have not only broadened our understanding but have also inspired us to rethink teaching in the age of information. Your contributions have greatly enriched our academic discussions and provided meaningful direction for teacher education in the digital era. Having said that, it would be incomplete if I do not thank our principal, Dr. Deepak Mohanty. I would like to acknowledge the initiative of our respected principal for conceptualizing this seminar. This is an apt time to have a discussion on this. Because artificial intelligence, digitalization is overpowering every sector, and teacher education is not left behind. Education and teacher education sectors are also overpowered by digitization. We can say artificial intelligence. This is the right time to think of the topic like this. Thanks to his technical background and exposure, he thought of the seminar which is apt in present time. Extremely thankful to him. My thanks are also due to the organizing committee members, faculty colleagues, students, volunteers who have put up a beautiful stage and decorated in such a way that it feels like home and it feels like sitting here. Feel very comfortable. I thank all the support staff whose tireless efforts ensure the smooth conduct of this program. Finally, I thank all the participants and guests who have taken the time to join us both offline and online and made this academic gathering meaningful and memorable. Let's carry forward the ideas shared here. That is more important. And continue working together to make teaching more reflective, effective, humane and meaningful in the era of abundant information. With these words, I once again extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we conclude the in-person session of day 1. Now lunch has been arranged for all the participants. We will start the next session at 3 p.m. Okay, thank you.